listening to Bad Decisions with Jazz.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from across the world, you're listening to Season 2, Episode 1 of Bad Decisions with Jazz. I am I am literally so excited to be doing this podcast with you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I did record this like 50 minutes ago, but I forgot to press record. So I was literally staring at a blank screen that didn't even say record. How I did that? I don't know. Another bad decision with Jazz. So I kind of not as enthusiastic as I was like an hour ago because I kind of already did it. And then I was like, oh, great. Way to go, Jazz. And I was literally about to go into my little editing app and there was no video to put in there. Good job. Good job, Jazz. Good job. You are killing the game. Whew. So we have a lot to discuss. Like, a lot. Your girl has all the tea. Okay, I kind of left you in a cliffhanger since my last episode. What was it, like episode 13 or something like that? In September? September? Yeah. We're gonna go with that. Don't know if that's accurate. Have to check. But you guys probably know, and I'm excited to just get back into this and probably explain to you why the cliffhanger was a thing. So I kind of fell out of love with doing the podcast, and not for like reasons other than, so I spent a lot of time editing my podcast. I spent a lot of time putting in the most that I can do with it. I try to make the audio the best that I can get it with the things that I have. I try to make my videos the best quality. I don't have a camera right now. That's a story we're going to get into in a second. I just got a new microphone and we're recording on an iMac, so don't judge me too hard. It's probably not perfect, but what is your girl going to do? Yeah, so I just kind of left you in a cliffhanger and I kind of feel bad about it, but I wasn't getting comments. I wasn't getting feedback the way that I really wanted to. I felt like a lot of people were kind of just listening to my podcast and then that was the end of it. Nobody was really enjoying it the way that I wanted them to, and if they were, then I didn't know, you know? So I'm just spending a lot of time editing this, making it the best that I can, and I'm not getting a good enough return. So I know that's probably a really bad reason why I stopped, but I've come to the conclusion that I have so much information to offer. I'm always learning new things about myself, about other people, about the world around us, and I just think that should be the good enough reason why I want to put my voice out there and why I think that I have something to offer to you guys. So I kind of want to apologize. I'm sorry for not getting into it, but a lot has happened in my life. If you don't follow me on any social media, then you don't know this, but I did move to Florida, which was a shit show in itself, literally. I don't think I can ever stop talking about it. I genuinely think it's funny, and I laugh about it, and I laugh my pain off, so that's kind of how I do it, and I moved to Florida, and if you're like me, then you probably hate bugs. A lot. Probably with exception to ants, but you hate bugs. And you know what's in Florida? And there's a lot in Florida. There are bugs everywhere. Check this out. We literally had a crab at our front door the other day. A crab. Tell me how you got there. How did you get there? Like, who said this was okay? You cannot come into my residential house. You can't do that. I'm sorry, but you don't belong here, buddy. So I literally couldn't even go through the front door. I had to open the garage. I was just like, nope, not dealing with a crab today. And it was like this black little thing. It was tiny. It was there. Nope, did not like it. There are alligators everywhere. There's like a pond right by our house. We see alligators like every time we go to the mailbox. Not lately, I think maybe like the last week, not so much, but alligators? What in the flying fuck? Alligators? Why did I think moving to Florida was gonna be a good idea? Like, yeah, we have the beach. Yes, I love the beach. Yes, the beaches here are very nice. Yes, I like drinking alcohol on the beach. But ultimately, I probably would not have moved here had I known that I was gonna hate it here. Like, the more you know, you know? And I probably would have just saved it for a vacation, and it probably would not have been Panama City, Florida. Probably would not have been, okay? It is just destroyed after the hurricane. Not much has been built up. There is nothing to do. There is no nightlife. Any kind of nightlife that there is all like family. It's not really young, single couples. Okay, not single couples, but I guess single couples. No kids, right? That would count. But it's not like it's not a vibe here. It's just not jazz. So, bad decision with jazz? Yes, it absolutely was. But here we are, we're living our best lives still and doing our best. I have no reason not to do my podcast now because, hi, there's nothing else to do here. So sad. This is what I mean. Another bad decision. Everything I owned burned in a fire. And when I say everything, I literally mean everything. Clothes, my computer with all my files on it, my microphones, pictures, mirrors. I said clothes, shoes. Let's talk about red bottoms, burned in the fire, 2 pairs for that matter. Very, very, very upsetting. I don't know why I didn't think to pack them and take them with me, but obviously on the road trip to moving here from Tucson, I did not think I would wear them. And I also did not think that all of my stuff would literally burn in a fire, and that also includes Sugar Daddy. So that is awesome. I'm literally recording this with an iMac with, okay, I got a new microphone. This is actually a nicer microphone, so I can't even be mad at that. But I'm doing the best with what I got here. I don't know what else to do. So this is what we're doing. We're in a whole new office. It is also the workout room. So I got a lovely Peloton right next to me and the tonal in front of me. So great. We love that. But to be fair, Sugar Daddy and I agreed that this would be our space because it's our house now, whereas the last house was my house. So I got to do whatever I wanted to it, which was fun, but I think it's more fun living with him now and being able to adjust our house according to us and who we are. So that's kind of a fun thing. And speaking of Sugar Daddy, did you guys notice? He put a ring on it. He put a ring on it. Your girl is lit about it. But he did put a ring on it, and he's not really Sugar Daddy anymore, so we should probably talk about his new nickname real quick. And I do love Sugar Daddy, but that was another time. You know, he's my fiance now and future husband, and about, like, I'm looking at a watch like I have one on, and I do not, in about 110 days, something like that. Don't ask me why I know that off the top of my head. I do have a wedding website, so it tells me, it like counts down the amount of days. Anyways, yeah, we're planning a wedding now. Oh my goodness. And I should be a little bit more specific. I'm planning a wedding now, and I should just be a little bit more specific. My wedding planner is planning a wedding, but she's just planning like the other side of the wedding. She's not really planning the wedding, I should say. Obviously, I'm planning the wedding. Obviously, fiance, hubby, can we call him hubby? Let's call him hubby. I'm gonna call him hubby. It just works out that way. Hubby and I are planning the wedding. But when I say a wedding planner, she's literally just making sure it's my vision, whereas I have to deal with all the family bullshit. And family bullshit is not what I want to deal with. I have had so many family members call me up and be like, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this? Like, I'm going crazy, literally. Like, I cannot even. That's it. I cannot even, because it's just too much to have to deal with everybody's BS. It's too much to have to deal with everybody's opinions. Speaking of opinions, my dad and I have a falling out because he's kind of a asshole. And I say that like that because I don't know what you guys are going to think of me by saying that, but yes, no, he's an asshole, and he's not invited. And that says a lot, because if you have family not coming to your wedding, when you know that 20 years from now, you're going to look back at those pictures and be like, dang, I really didn't invite this person. And then you're going to be sad about it. I will have no regrets. My dad and I have always been in a rough path for like so many years. And I think it wasn't until maybe last year when I bought my first house, that we were finally like in a good place, like under good terms. But then my parents went through a divorce, and that's been like really tough. That's been like weighing down a lot on me, which I knew it was coming for quite some time because I kept telling my mom, you need to leave him, you need to leave him. But it was just like, now that it had become official, I think I really saw his true colors and where he stood with the family. Like, my mom is that binding person. She keeps everybody together. And since she left, naturally, everything kind of fell apart. I kind of did fall out with my mom for a few months. Like, we weren't talking, nothing, no FaceTimes, no talking, because I think she just, like, got under my nerves. And she knows that, like, we talk about it now, and she knows that, like, where she stood with me. And it was definitely really hard to tell her, yeah, I went wedding dress shopping without you. I went with my bridesmaids because her and I weren't talking, and she wasn't really keeping me in the loop on anything. But I wasn't keeping her in the loop either. But I was entitled to how I felt at the time, even if now I look back and I'm just like, you should have just really spoke about how you felt and not really worried about her feelings, or, you know, not worry about her not understanding how you were going to feel. Like, either way, we would have gotten into a fight, because she's not really good at taking constructive criticism, but then at the same time, she literally is. So it's very contradicting. I'm aware of that. But yeah, my parents' divorce was official like a few days ago. Yeah. Which is very weird. Like, I think maybe like 2 people out of like the hundreds that I know asked me how I actually feel about the situation. And truth be told, I'm happy. I'm happy because we don't have to deal with somebody who doesn't want to be in our lives. But at the same time, I'm really sad because we still have, like, I still have younger siblings, you know, younger siblings who one's just a freshman in high school and the other one's still in elementary school. Like, that's how young they are. Like, my sister in college, okay, fine, but, you know, the rest of my siblings, it's like, I grew up in an environment where my parents were healthy and happy, and it was a pretty positive environment. Like, obviously it had its moments, like every family, but now my siblings are growing up with different parents, and I think it's just a lot more different. So I think I feel for them, and the fact that my dad is not present, he's just out prancing around with his little girlfriend, thinking that she's cool and that they are gonna have a great life together forever and ever. Like, she's not using him for his money at all. Anyways, I'm just sad for them, you know? I'm sad that he's not present the way that he should be, but that's why he's an asshole, and that's why he's not invited. Like, we literally hired security to make sure that this motherfucker did not show up. Like, dad or not, I don't care. You're just not gonna come to my wedding. It's not your place for you. It's my place. And he's not invited, not because, you know, not because he's managed to push everyone in his life away. He's not invited because boundaries are so important, okay? Boundaries are the most important thing for yourself and for the people around you. And I have a story about that, but I'll start with my dad first. The boundary was that my dad could come to the wedding. I had no problem with him coming to the wedding. We had talked about it months before hubby and I even talked about officially doing this thing. I told him that you can come to the wedding, but neither you nor mom are allowed to bring a +1. I do not want to see that. I don't want to know about it. It's something I literally am not ready for still. Like, still not ready for. And months later, like in March or something like that, he texts me back and he's just like trying to make me understand why he should bring his girl to the wedding. I don't like this girl, okay? This is the girl that my dad left me for in high school. And I know it sounds silly, but I don't like this bitch, okay? And she is a bitch to me. She hasn't even said hi to me. She, like, if she does say hi to me, it's forced. You could tell. There's no respect in her tone towards me. I'm a grown adult. So respect is a huge thing in the adult world. If you don't have it, guess what? You're gonna get spit on. And I don't care. I don't care who does it to you. I don't care if I do it to you. Like, I know that's really immature. It's really small-minded, but in the reality of things, when it comes to family and people that you genuinely care about and people that you grew up with, it's a little different. And yes, I'm very toxic when it comes to it. But at least I can admit it, you know? But yeah, and it's just, he literally tried to text me a whole paragraph about it, and I was just like, no, my answer stays final. And then he had the audacity a few days later to call hubby and be like, you should talk to her about letting her. And, you know, hubby got off the phone with my dad and was like, I'm on your side, 110%. Like, no, I was just listening to the conversation. I was like, I apologized so many times after that call because I was just like, I'm so sorry. But at the same time, I can't control, like, what he did, you know? At least I have someone who's on my side, and that makes me feel, like, way better. But planning a wedding in general is just stressful, and I don't like it. And I can't wait for it to be over. Can't wait for it to be my wedding day, I guess I should say. I finally got my birth certificate because that was also in the fire. I was born overseas too, so yes, in the fire, great. But I finally got it in the mail, and I think we requested a new one like back in March too. So, wow, it's I'm looking at my at my wrist again like there's a watch. Oh my god, I gotta get my life together. So one of the other reasons that I kind of stopped this podcast was I kind of received some sad news in December. Well, I got good news in October, sad news in December, so it really didn't last long, which was kind of sad. But if you follow my social media, then you kind of know what it is. It has to do with my tattoo, which I'm trying to show you in the camera, but for those of you on YouTube anyways, but it has to do with my tattoo, and it's a baby foot, so I think you could put 2 and 2 together. And I found out 3 days before Christmas, and 2 days before Christmas I had the surgery for it, and I've kind of just been recovering since, honestly. Coping is definitely a big thing. I definitely talked about this in my last season, and it's been one hell of a ride for sure. And new coping mechanisms that I've picked up is probably like nail art, and I don't just mean like watching YouTube videos. No, I actually do my own nails now. Obviously, for those of you on YouTube, I didn't do them myself this time. I actually went to go get them done because we had a wedding in Texas. Yeah, so there's been a lot of traveling in the last few months. Let's see, where did we leave off? We left off in September. In January, we went to Chicago. February, we moved to Florida. March, April. We lived in a hotel. Oh my god, I have to tell you guys this. We lived in a hotel for 52 days, okay? Because we bought our house in November, but the house wasn't ready until February. So we were like, yes, let's move in February. Our house will be ready because we built it. It'll be ready in February, so that'll work. Well, we get here February 5th. We were supposed to close like February 15th or something like that. So we were here kind of early, it worked out for us because we were staying in a hotel for a few days and it was, completely free, no charge at all. So we liked that. And February 10th came around, and I remember they called and said, yeah, you've been delayed 2 weeks. And I said, okay, we'll make it work. March came around, we were delayed 2 weeks. And I think in March we were delayed 3.5 weeks. And we finally closed the end of March. So, was it March? Or was it April? I feel like it was longer than that. All I know is that from February to March, we were in a hotel, and I was not living my finest life because we were in a ghetto hotel because we have 2 pets with us. We have a dog and a cat, so you can't just go into any hotel. And also, we were in there for a minute, so we knew that it needed to be on the cheaper side. The cheaper side usually means ghetto. So we were in the ghetto, and I shit you not, I was sitting in the hotel one day, and I'm pretty sure 3 dudes were gonna come rob us, and I was panicking. And I'm the kind of person that when I panic, I know it's like fight or flight, but I'm the kind of person who just shuts down. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with myself. I know I'm thinking like crazy, like, you need to do this, you need to do this. Like, you have a weapon in the hotel room, just go ahead and get it. But no, I couldn't move. And like, I remember before that had happened, like I was like eyeing the door because the door was open because hubby was outside with the dog. What was he doing? Going to the bathroom, whatever he was doing, but I know he was outside, and I know I kept like calling or texting him, but I think he was on the phone or something. And another bed jazz. Love it. Yeah, but a lot of traveling. So then we went to Tampa a while ago, like last month. We also went to San Francisco, which was awesome. It was a great trip. Bought a little Louis bag. Definitely didn't need it, but we had been looking for this. I know hubby and I had been looking yeah, we had been looking for this one bag for like over a year now. We couldn't find it. Like, no, it was not in stock online. It was not in stock in a lot of the stores that we were going to. So we just kind of kept searching for it. Every time we went to a new town, we were in a Louis store, if there was one there, because we wanted to see it. We wanted to see if we could find it so that we could use it. And luckily for us, this one had it, and I was very excited to walk outside with it. And we got a little Louis bag, and then we went to Austin, Texas. We literally just got back yesterday, so been a lot of traveling. Actually, hubby's best friend literally texted me and was like, you guys should make a travel vlog because you guys travel so much. And I'm just like, wait, actually, not a bad idea, but also don't have the patience for it because there's a lot that goes into videos, and I'm not the kind of person who like, I'm the kind of person who's like in the moment, so I want to see with my own eyes, not through a camera. So I always forget to take cute videos or cute pictures. Like, I'll take a few and then I'll forget the rest of the trip, and it's kind of sad because then I don't have enough memories, but that's besides the point. There's been a lot of traveling, but yeah, we were in Austin for a friend's wedding actually, and they are a big reason why I'm doing this podcast now. So we met with our friends from Tucson, which was really nice. It was kind of refreshing, honestly, to know people that we've known and to talk to them. And, you know, because we don't really have friends here. We don't, like, I have maybe one friend, and we have one friend. We have a friend who moved from Tucson here with us too, which is really fun, but we don't hang out as much because they just had a baby and we don't want to stress them out more. So yeah, we've been making friends. I think hubby has more friends than I do here, that's for sure. I have one friend, she's really sweet. I think that she's really cute, and yeah, she's like one of my biggest fans too. And I think she listens to these, so I don't want to sound like I'm trying to hit on her through my podcast, but she's really cute, she's adorable, she has a wonderful personality, and she's like my number one fan, and I kind of love her for that. Like, I love how she makes me feel so good about myself, because there are days that I don't feel good about myself. But the friends in Austin that we were from Tucson, we were meeting up with them, and she was telling me how she listens to my podcast every single time that she's on a road trip, and I think it made me so happy. Like, her kind words, I don't think she understood how kind her words were to me and like what they really meant to me. Like, you know, I'm nodding my head saying, yes, oh my god, thank you, like that makes me so happy, but like inside I'm like jumping up and down because I'm just like, oh my god, somebody does care, like somebody actually does listen to my podcast. And yeah, I know I put just about my whole life out here, but I'm just like, it makes me happy because it's like I talk about more than just myself. Okay, no, I don't, because my podcasts are like my diary. I get to come on here and I get to just talk about myself, because I talked about how, like, episodes ago, how nobody ever lets me finish my stories. So I feel like my podcast is the one place for me to do that. It's a good hobby for me. I just think I need to get back into it more and do better with it. But yeah, and her words really motivated me, and here I am today. And I made the cute little intro that you guys heard. Yeah, by now you heard. Stupid me. And I'm pretty impressed with it. Obviously it's not the best, but it's what I can do with what I have, with what I know how to do. Because we do the best that we can with the information that we have. Honestly, that's a really big point for me. So yeah, what the hell are we talking about today? It's not going to be a long topic at all. Like, I'm going to have to touch on it in other episodes, but since our intro is now 23 minutes long, I feel like it's kind of time for me to start talking about it. I'm so sorry. But the topic today is self-love, and that's really important because loving yourself first is the most crucial to getting through in this life. And I say that because as humans, we are so inclined to love other people. Like, we're social critters. Like, we're social bugs. It's literally humans. That's how we were made. That's how we were meant to be. And I feel like with self-love, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. And I think that was a really big point that I made to hubby when him and I first started dating, that if you don't love yourself, if you don't love who you are, what you stand for, you need to change it, and then you need to decide if you want to love me, basically. Like, obviously I didn't say it like that. Obviously I said it way nicer, but ultimately that was my message to get to him. And a lot of self-love can be coping. So I know I touched on this in another episode, but coping is legitimately a big sign of self-love. It means that you respect yourself enough to know that you don't deserve to be sad. That's what coping is. It's helping you get through those sad things in life. And when I went through that sad thing that we went through in December, it was crucial that I understood what coping was and what coping meant to me. So the first thing I did for coping, and this is huge for some reason, it's actually now been like legitimately like my coping every day, but it's been watching Tom and Jerry. Honestly, I know that's silly, but Tom and Jerry is just this really imaginative video where you get to just like, you know what's happening, but you also get to make up what's happening. Like, it just takes your mind to another realm because it's not really scripted. It's just, a majority of it is just screenplay. Like, that's kind of it. So Tom and Jerry was definitely my go-to, especially when I was, like, on medications and I really couldn't digest what was going on around me because I went through this phase where I was just really numb and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I feel like a lot of mothers don't get credit when they kind of lose a child, and I felt like for me it just helped me get out of that mentality and helped me try to get myself right. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been a lot of struggle since then, but I've definitely come a long way since then. And if you'd like me to talk about it in another subject, because like I said, mothers who lose their child don't really get enough, I don't want to say clout, but enough recognition, then I would be more than happy to talk about it. But yes, hobbies. My new hobby is nails. Like I said, that's nail videos and doing nails. I enjoy that. I think it's so therapeutic. I think it helps me really get through the day. It also lasts like hours. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll do my nails. What? Pretty nails. We love that. I've also been getting into like natural nails. Like, I know that they're painted right now, but natural nails are kind of the new vibe, like just natural in general. Like, I just have blush on right now, but I actually feel really pretty. But it might also be because I'm ovulating. I don't know how women work, man. I didn't ask for this. Sorry. Taking a bath has been my new favorite thing. With this huge house, we have a full-on bathtub, like it's its own separate bathtub, not a shower at all, just a really pretty bathtub. And I'll put cute little, like last time I took a bath was like last weekend, and I put a cute little bath bomb and some bubbles in there, and hubby lit up some candles, and I just got to sit in the bathtub and like write or listen to music, and it was so awesome. There was like a little LED light in the bath bomb, so it would literally light up underneath the bubbles and make it like blue and purple and red and green and like all these really awesome LED lights, and it's kind of like a vibe. I kind of like it a lot. Might have to go to Target and get another one. Let's see. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you can't love yourself. So, like I said, it's so important for you to love yourself before you love somebody else, because loving somebody else means that it comes from a good place within yourself. And if you don't have love for yourself, then it's not coming from a good place. You're just kind of leeching off that other person's love, and that's not really healthy at all. Not healthy at all. But you shouldn't stop loving yourself just because you love somebody else. I think a lot of people who get into relationships these days notice that they just don't love themselves as much as they used to, because they kind of get lost in the love of someone else, and like I said, that's really unhealthy. I obviously am not an expert in anything. I don't know what I'm doing half the time in life. Like, it's literally called Bad Decisions with Jazz and all the bad decisions that I make, but literally I know love because I know what healthy love is supposed to look like, only because I know what unhealthy love looked like and what it resulted in. And I knew that, you know, obviously that trauma in my life, I didn't want it to go into my own relationship. And so knowing what a healthy relationship looks like was really crucial for me. And I just don't want you guys to think that just because you love someone else doesn't mean you can't love yourself. Like, I know I'm not going into much detail. I really wanted today to just be an intro video, but I do just want you guys to remember that loving yourself is just as important as loving those around you. It's easy to be bitter. It really is. It's really easy, and it's way more difficult to be positive and happy and loving and caring and, you know, all those positive things. But at the end of the day, we have ourselves and we have the people around us, and that's kind of what's important. You know, you kind of just, you can buy as many Louis bags as you want. At the end of the day, it's not going to make you happy if you don't love yourself and if you don't love those around you. You know what I mean? So this podcast is now run to about 30 minutes, so we should probably kind of wrap it up. But I will obviously talk about a lot more in my next episode rather than myself. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little update on what has happened in my life and like why we kind of stopped, and I just wanted this to be like an intro into season 2. I just wanted you guys to know that I am here. I listen. I'm happy to provide you with info if you need it. Life is crazy, honestly, and I feel like my life is a fucking shit show. Like how does your stuff burn in a fire? Oh my god. Oh my god. Like we literally just laugh about it now. Like, yeah. Well, I guess that's all I have for today. If you guys have any feedback, but I can't stress this enough, and I will never be able to stress it enough, but please give me some feedback. Just DM me or something on Instagram, or just put a little comment in my YouTube videos, or just put a comment in my Buzzsprout feed, like just something that says, Jazz, you're doing a great job, because we need that. And I don't know, I'm putting myself out there, I'm being brave, and you know, it's difficult for me sometimes, honestly. Like, if I'm, like, legitimately being honest, it's a little difficult, because then I think about, like, the people who judge me, and, yeah, it makes me emotional, because I'm just like, oh my god, this is kind of scary, because they might hate me, they might say I should go kill myself or something, like, you know how it works, but obviously I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to listen to the negative feedback. I just want to hear like the positive feedback, and if it is negative feedback, then it should be respectful at least. But yeah, I really just wanted an episode where we jump back into things and you guys listen to my crazy stories, because I think that a lot of it was crazy, let's be real, and I can help you the best way that I know how to, while also helping myself. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. It's a give and take situation. And I think that's kind of all I have for today. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm kind of just talking out of my ass now. Sorry. Yeah, and just be safe, be happy, and be loved. XOXO, Jazz.